And good evening, my lovely Lost Tales, and welcome back to the Blue Rose Respite for my Freaky Friday stream. How are you all doing? So good to see you. We are concluding Silent Hill F. I do feel bad that I could have split last week's stream into maybe a slightly shorter stream, and then we would have more of the game to experience tonight. But we're mostly going to be focusing on getting to the end of the story and then having some wrap-up thoughts about it. So just a heads up before we jump into tonight, this stream is probably going to be quite significantly shorter than my other streams, but I still hope that you all have a wonderful time with me, and I'm very curious to see what ending we're going to get. I did see the poll that was happening of people voting on what ending I was going to get. No spoilers, of course, but I agree. I think I'm going to get a good ending, question mark, because we did manage to get the sword. We managed to get the sword, but we weren't able to purify it. So I think we'll get a good ending, but not necessarily like the best or most hopeful ending you can get. Then again, this is a Silent Hill game, and all of the endings are various shades of depressing. So like when it comes to these games, it's not like Resident Evil where you get in a helicopter and you fly off into the sunset and you live to fight another day. No, the happiest endings you can hope for in a Silent Hill game are not like not offing yourself or wandering into the mist and being stuck in purgatory forever. And though anything above that is a good ending. Hey Chris, how's it going? Welcome back. Hello Weaver, hello Samuel, hello King Deadlock. Great to see so many of you returning for another night of the Spooky Spooks. What flavor do you want your depressing spaghetti? Like, I'm classic. I love depressing spaghetti with like a bolognese sauce, or even just a classic pesto with some parmesan cheese. That's also really good. I don't need to be like super fancy. I like just bog standard depressing spaghetti. Oh my god, but honestly, now that we've experienced this game twice, like this feels maybe a thought I'll articulate more when we get to the ending. Now that we've experienced this game twice over, it's really made me appreciate it so much more. And especially given the writer's previous work, it works really, really, really well. And feels very in keeping with what the writer has done for previous stories they've worked on, mostly Higurashi no Nakokoro ni. I'm not familiar with his other Higurashi project. I believe it was more of in a Victorian setting. I still need to watch it at some point and experience it. I like mine with parmesan cheese. You can taste the trauma and sawdust. Ooh, delicious. I like me just even like a classic like spaghetti olio, where it's mostly just plain pasta with like really good olive oil, tons of black pepper, and lots of parmesan cheese and lemon juice. It's mostly just focusing then on the deliciousness of the oil and the cheese and the black pepper. It has to be fresh black pepper. You can't have like standard black pepper. It has to be the good shit, but it can be very, very nice. Nerdy Men, thank you so much for the 200 bits, self-imposed mandatory bits. Do you know what game you might play next? I was thinking about it, and while we are going to be playing Hades 2 on Monday and Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 on Wednesday next week, I think next Friday, how do you guys feel about Amanda the Adventurer 3? Because that's a game that I feel like we can cover in one night. I need to double check the game length though, because if it's something like, the game's like 8 hours long, then I'll maybe save that until I come back from Christmas and New Year's. But if it's slightly shorter, then I think we can cover it all in one night. Hey Jace, how's it going? Welcome back. And Sheb, great to see you too. Hello, hello. Great to see so many familiar faces returning. Also, to everyone who watched the Game Awards or saw the news about the Game Awards, are you guys cool if I talk about that for a hot second? Because I'm really, really satisfied with a lot of the winners. But I didn't want to like jump into like talking about who won Game of the Year in case you hadn't seen the announcements yet, and I don't know, you were planning on watching it at some point, because it is very, very cool and I'm really, really happy with it. Okay, go right ahead. Okay, so I am so fucking happy that Expedition 33 won Game of the Year and it just swept the awards. I think it is now, it surpassed Baldur's Gate 3 and some other titles as the game that has won the most awards in 1 year, because it won for like best score, best direction. Jennifer English won for best voice acting. I think it was female lead voice acting. And best story, best game. Honestly, the fact that it just swept all of the awards, and it is genuinely a passion project from a small studio. It's their first fucking game. Like, that astounds me, because I've played I'm up to about a good chunk of the way into Act 2 of Claire Obscura, Expedition 33. And from what I've played so far, it's absolutely magnificent. Magnificent could probably be the best word to describe it. I feel bad that I haven't finished it yet. I just kind of got distracted and I needed something that gave me like a quicker dopamine boost, so I started playing some more city builder games, and so I've put that aside for now, but I want to jump back into it at some point. But the fact that it is the first game from that studio, it is an independent project from a bunch of developers who were kicked out of Ubisoft, because as a voice actor, I still want to book work, so I won't like speak too ill of game studios, but game studios, like a lot of AAA big studios, sometimes they do really shitty things and they have massive layoffs. It is like a thing that happens in the game industry. It happens a lot. So the fact that these developers came together, formed their own studio, made this absolute fucking banger of a game, and the composer was a guy they found on SoundCloud and who had no previous releases in terms of working on video game scores. The fact that they found him on SoundCloud and it was his first major project, just, the music is so good, you guys. Absolutely incredible. I'm genuinely just so happy that that game has won as many awards as it has, because it shows bigger studios that, you know, just because you may have a bigger budget to work with, or maybe a more established name, if you don't make a game that has care and craft and tries something fresh, the fact that Claire Obscure, it's a new IP. It is the first game from the studio. It is a fresh new concept, with a turn-based battle system, which isn't everyone's cup of tea. They took a gamble having it be a turn-based battle system. But there's like a voracious appetite in for gamers for something new and interesting to sink their teeth into. And the fact that Claire Obscure has done as well as it has, and also similar with like Larian Studios. Well, Larian has made Divinity Original Sin, we'll talk about that in a second, and other games, but then Baldur's Gate 3, they were still a relatively small studio when they were working on Baldur's Gate 3. And so honestly, like, audiences are showing these big studios that this is what we want. We don't care how prestigious your name is. We want games that make us feel something and experience something and bring something new to the table, and not just release the same game again and again and again and again. We want something different. And so that's why I try and balance things out on my channel, with showcasing like bigger, more established titles like Silent Hill F, which I'm absolutely having a fantastic time with. And then like on occasion we'll jump into more of an independent game or something weird that I found on Steam, to hopefully bring more eyes to these amazing games, and so that then in turn you guys can go out and support them. Like, one of my favorite games that I've played in the past couple of years is Little Goody Two Shoes, by I think it's Astral Fire, or Astral Shift. I think Astral Shift is the developer, and it's so good, and there are so many talented game developers out there. But the best thing you can do as a consumer is to vote with your wallet. If, like, even if a game is ridiculously hyped up and, but it's got a ridiculous price tag on it and it comes out half-baked, like, no, don't get swept up in it. Like, find interesting smaller games to support these amazing studios that are making excellent work, because they do really deserve it. While absolutely a lot of game studios find their footing over time with subsequent game releases and stuff like that, voting with your wallet is the best way to show what kind of games you want to see more of in the world. And honestly, the fact that I can't remember the name of it, but there was another game that was announced during the Game Awards that was animated with stop-motion puppetry. It's a two-player co-op game, so I'm probably not going to play it because I prefer playing single-player games. But the fact that there's been such a massive uptick in games that have a style that is distinctly tactile and is either made out of paper or clay or stop motion. I'm also thinking of games like South of Midnight, where it does have that very distinct kind of stop motion animation style to it, and it feels fresh and unique and interesting. It shows that there are so many studios out there that are making wonderful games, but in order for them to keep making cool games, people have to support them. So absolutely, I was absolutely ecstatic to see Claire Obscure won so many awards, and I can't wait to see what the studio comes out with next. AAA slot must be avoided unless they really earn it. Exactly, like, it's absolutely fine, because I'm personally very excited for like Resident Evil 9, for like supporting a very long established game series. Oh, great to see Jace and Shep and Spirit Wolf all hitting more stream streaks. Thanks so much for returning, guys. So I'm very excited for Resident Evil 9. I was very excited for Resident Evil 9 when I saw the teaser. But those games are genuinely really good. And so and especially in this really shitty age where so many game studios are trying to cut corners by using generative AI to not hire voice actors or artists or anything like that, I am humbly begging you, if there's one small thing I can do to change in this world, it is begging my audience on my knees, please do not support generative AI. If you find out a game has used generative AI, please don't play it. Please don't support it. Really try your best to support real human voices, human talent, human creativity, human art. Just, it's an uphill struggle, and I'm not gonna lie, it's really fucking depressing and exhausting sometimes. So try to find try playing weird, interesting games that maybe you wouldn't initially have thought about it, and you may not like it, or you might discover your new favorite game. But that's all I kind of want to talk about with Expedition 33 and talking about small independent studios and supporting creatives. Let's have a moment for the drop of the teaser for Larian's next game, which is the next Divinity game, and oh, that teaser was fucking wild. I am very excited for it. I've played a couple of hours of Divinity Original Sin 2. I haven't played the first one. I've been a couple of hours into the second one. Again, similar to Claire Obscure, I need to get back into it. But it's really a lot of fun. I was really enjoying it, and the fact that we're returning to Divinity with now what we know they can do from Baldur's Gate 3, I am very excited. I'm very excited. I believe it's probably going to still be a turn-based system, dice rolling system and everything like that in terms of combat, but I am just... Ooh, I'm letting them cook. I'm letting them cook because I know it's going to be so good. So good. Oh. So, really excited for that. I'm also quite curious about the new Dungeons and Dragons game that's coming out called Warlock. I think it's going to be Dungeons and Dragons and Wizards of the Coast is trying to step into having a like a dark fantasy game, similar with like Dragon Age and stuff, where you have like a pre-made kind of protagonist character, like an action fantasy RPG sort of thing. And then you build your character over time, kind of similar to, again, Dragon Age or even Vampire the Masquerade. And then you experience the story through this protagonist. But the fact that they chose to kick things off with a warlock is very interesting, because warlocks are one of my personal favorite classes to play, because you can have so much interesting character dynamics with your pact patron. So I'm very curious to see what they do with this. And I'm curious to hear what further details come out about it in time. I'm not 100%, like, I love Dungeons & Dragons, don't get me wrong. The people who own the IP, though, sometimes they do some not so great stuff. So that's why I'm like, this game looks really, really cool, but I'm holding off on any further excitement or like generating excitement and buzz about it until we find out more details about it. And then I will see where we go from there. But I am very interested in hearing more about it. Looks like they're trying to do Dark Messiah again. They're an old attempt at a dark first-person action game. That could be interesting, because I wasn't familiar with Dark Messiah, so I'm kind of curious to see what they bring to the table. My Twitter feed was a battlefield after we were won over Genshin Impact and Dispatch. I love all three games, but like, guys, please chill. Absolutely, like, it sucks if your favorite game didn't win. Like, I know that bitter sting all too well, but guys, like, chill. Just fucking chill. Also, respectfully, Genshin has been out for so long. Like, Genshin's been out for years and years and years, so I understand, like, a lot of very passionate fans are big fans of Genshin, but let some newer releases win these games rather than, like, IPs that have been out for a long, long time. I'm just gently suggesting it. Please don't kill me. I will say I haven't played Dispatch. I've got an eye on Dispatch if it's something I want to potentially stream, but I haven't quite made up my mind about it. In Dark Messiah, you have a succubus bound inside your head. It's very 2005. Oh, that sounds very 2005. Oh, I can kind of imagine what that would be like gameplay-wise, and that is interesting. But it would actually be kind of interesting for the Warlock game if they did something similar with like Senua's Sacrifice. And if you're going to have, or even something like what we've got with Fabian in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, where you do have that occasional inner monologue between yourself and your pact patron. And either it's like a kind of auditory, like, almost ASMR style audio, like flickering in and out of your ears for kind of an added horror effect. That could be quite interesting. But I am curious to see what they do with it, because it sounds like it has a lot of potential to be really, really, really cool. And I will await further information about it. Like Dispatch, Silk Song, etc., I strongly believe should have won something. I will say that I understand why Silk Song didn't win anything, because it feels like there's been so much hype built up for Silk Song that if other games such as Clair Obscur didn't come out in the same year, Silk Song would have probably swept through the awards in a somewhat similar fashion. But I do very much appreciate that more focus was given to, because Silk Song had already a long-standing fan base built up from the success of Hollow Knight. And so while it is an entirely separate game, it already had like an established fan base, whereas Clair Obscur was an entirely new game from a new studio. And I think that and the overwhelming success of it, I think, does deserve those accolades. So even though like it's a bittersweet that Silk Song didn't win, I do absolutely agree with the decision for Expedition 33 to just win all of the awards. Yeah, Samuel, that's the one thing that it's kind of like, I'm not sure about when it comes to playing Dispatch, just because I know there's some, I did hear about that there are some fans who are really like hell-bent on certain choices being made in the game if you're streaming it, or they'll like pressure you into making certain choices, and I'm like, respectfully, I don't want to invite that kind of animosity into the game. Like, similar when I'm playing a game that has multiple story paths and stuff like that, I always go with my gut and what I choose to do. Sometimes I'll let you guys decide on what choices I should make, but for the most part I go with my gut, and I just don't want to get like a ton of hate for playing games that I want to play, like shocking. Yeah, same here. That's why we don't have a backseat game. We have a no backseat gaming policy in my stream. I will, if I'm really, really stuck, I will sometimes just gently nudge you guys like, hey chat, could help me with this. But other than that, I prefer just being part of a story and you guys getting to experience the story through me a little bit. Alrighty, so are you guys ready for jumping back into Silent Hill F? Because we've probably only got a little bit of the game left. And then we can jump back in to talking about it and everything. And who knows, maybe if we end really, really early, I'll decide to just play some League. And you guys can watch me play League for a bit. Alrighty, I'm streaming, I'm recording, I'm doing all the things I should be doing. So let's jump over. Okie dokie Loki. So yeah, last we left off, we were currently making our way through the temple. We've found... hang on. Going off items. Okay, we just needed to find one more. But I am very, very nervous that we're going to get some kind of bad ending for Hinako. Looks like my room on a Friday night. There's no way it can be shorter than my shortest room when I beat Mortuary Assistant in like 15 minutes by pure chance. Honestly, I was trying out the demo of Mortuary Assistant, but I don't know whether... it was just me, but I just could not get into the flow of it, and it creeped me out way too much. Scroll of Pity. Rejoice, smile, serve, obey, for every last drop of blood shall be sacrificed. You shouldn't be here, Hinako! I'm sorry that we couldn't cleanse the sword. Okay, before we go through that door, I just want to see if these statues have anything else. Nari sushi. No, we're good. Hey, Nautical Menace! Great to see you. Welcome back. Oh, I hate these enemies so much. Oh, gross. I hate this enemy so much. She's so gross to look at. Gross, 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 gross.
Junko-san.
お取り込み中ごめんなさい。ひなことほんの少しだけ話がしたいのだけれど、よろしいかしら。
では。
お姉ちゃん、まだ生きてるのね。うん。しっかりなさい。しっかりって。未練は拙速では立てない。そう思い時間を与えたけれど、生きていてもいいなんて考えてないわよね。そんな甘えは許さない。殺せ、必ず。
もう少し外していた方がいいかな。
いいえ。お時間をありがとうございます。それではこれにて。
姉妹で語り合えたかね。
Nah, that's up for debate.
はい。
それでは行こうか。
Fox mask crest. Badge that with something carved into it looks like a fox mask.
あなた様のお印ですね。
Okay. Got all three crests. Let's see what this says again. The white bird flies free from her cage. Her shadow follows close behind her. The fox raises a lantern as he watches them fly away. There's nothing he can do now. Okay, fox raises a lantern as he watches them fly away. Okay. Let's see. Flying. That makes me think maybe they have to go on fans, perhaps? Maybe this is where the white bird goes with the black one close behind, and fox carries a lantern. No, that's not right. Okay. White bird flies free from her cage. Her shadow follows close behind her. Fox raises a lantern as he watches them fly away. Okay. This feels right because the cage feels like it should be that little like transportation. I'm not sure what it's called. The thing that's being carried, that feels right with the placement of the white bird at the front on the fan and then the black bird still in the cage, but I think the fox's one needs to be moved. Maybe try this bottom one here. Okay, that's not right. Let's try all the ones for the lanterns that are being carried by foxes. Nope. No. Okay, what about this one right here? Okay, that's not right. Or maybe it's the one that's in the carriage. Oops. Okay, that's not right. Okay. White bird flies free from her cage. Her shadow follows close behind her. The fox raises a lantern as he watches them fly away. There's nothing he can do now. The fox raises a lantern. Maybe it's this one, but the fox is the emblem on the back? No. As he watches them fly away. I think I've tried the fox emblem almost everywhere else. Okay, maybe... that is where the bird one goes? Because that's still outside the cage, but it's a little bit further behind. Is this where the fox goes then? Fox raises a lantern as he watches them fly away. Okay. Because it feels like this is right at the front. Let's try this one. Or is the bird supposed to be on that lantern there? Look at it again. White bird flies free from her cage. Her shadow follows close behind her. Fox raises the lantern as he watches them fly away. There's nothing to do now. Okay, let's try the different placements again for this one. Because I've moved the position of the other one. Because when I previously did this, I got it very quickly. Nope. Okay. Let's take all these out and think about this again. Oops. Okay. White bird flies free from a cage. Her shadow follows close behind her. Fox raises a lantern, fly away. Oh, Nerdy Mim, I got my tank top from your shop today, Steph. It's really soft and pretty. Oh, I'm so glad you like it, Mim. Thank you so much for supporting my store, and I'm really, really happy that you love it. Thank you. White bird flies free from a cage with a shadow following close behind. Because, yeah, I'm assuming that the cage means this, so I'm taking that... Because it still feels right that the placements of this is the white one here. Okay, does this give any hints? Lies deep within your heart. Let the line of foxes guide you off the crest and lay bare your soul. The white bird flies free from a cage. A shadow follows close behind her. Fox raises a lantern as he watches them fly away. There is nothing he can do now. Because, yeah, that makes it feel like, okay, no, that's still in the cage. And that's still somehow connected to it. What if the black one goes here? And then Fox raises a lantern. Oh, I'm scratching my head at this one. Okay, does this say anything different? No, that's just the instructions of laying bare your soul. Okay, that's not right. Because it hasn't given any other hints. Oh, what am I doing wrong? Oops. Let's take that out. Hey, T-Slayer, welcome back. Good to see you. No, honestly, Sam, I want to try and figure this out myself. After a while, I might think, like, okay, I might do a quick sneaky search, at least to get the first two. Or the first one to see I'm on the right track. Because, yeah, that feels right to me. Like, the white bird at the front on the fan, and then either the shadow being in that lantern or that lantern. And then, like, but then there's all the rest of these, and these feel separate from what's happening up here. Especially with the focus on these ones up the front. Because the other puzzles I was able to eventually figure out. Okay. Let's try... One thing I haven't tried is the white bird up here yet. And then... shadow following close behind. Okay, let's try this combination with different positions of the fox and the lantern. Because now it's just a matter of like, okay, trying to narrow down which ones feel right. Okay. That's not right. Nope. Okay. Because I already tried it the other way around with the white bird in on the fan, the black bird there. So let's try taking this out. Maybe put the black bird here. Give this a try. Nope. Okay, that's not right either. Oh, what am I not getting right with this? Oops. I'm tempted to look it up just to see what the first one is and then try and pin it together from here. White birds free from the cage with the shadow following close behind. So the white and black birds have to be very, like, relatively close together. And it has to be in one of these ones is where both of them sit. But I've already tried it with like the white bird there, the black bird there, and then the fox in all the different other potential positions, and that wasn't right. I can't see anywhere else for like, if it's supposed to be like a, you think outside of the box and you put them on, put the emblems somewhere else. Like, okay, hang on. Let me clear my head for a second and get rid of some of these. I don't have any emails, do I? No, I don't. Oh, but chat, you can see what my logic is, like, seeing the carriage as the cage and then focusing the birds around there. I can't see how it would fit in anywhere else. Let me look at it at a distance. Sorry about this, Hinako. Huh. Yeah, just admire your cool new arm, Hinako. It is a very, very cool arm, to be fair. Okay. Cool. Think outside the box. I'm literally trying to think outside the box. Because I've already tried it with different birds here, and then the fox in different lantern positions. I have tried the different lantern positions around there. So, okay, let's try it with the white bird here. They're a bit higher. And let's try putting the black bird here, because they're close behind. And then the fox raising a lantern. Let's try it at different positions. Nope. That's not right either. Nope. Huh. Yeah, I'm really struggling to think of how... this all fits together. Okay. Because I got it previously really quickly, but I think they change what the question is depending on your choices in the game. So that makes me feel like, okay, we've got maybe a slightly happier ending coming up with Hinako. Because I don't want to Google it. I know I can figure this out, but maybe if I just got the first one confirmed, if that was right. Okay, also looking at the background, that looks like clouds. And that looks like leaves. 1 second. Okay, are there any kimonos that have a leaf pattern? Some of them do, like the ones with the parasols have bamboo leaves on them. With having the clouds around, it makes me think that is right with it being on the front. And then, like, this is one of the most immediate, like, following close behind. And then I've already tried all these, though. Oh! Why can't I figure this out? Because there isn't any other places to put them. There isn't, like, something in the frame that you put them into or anything. Maybe that's the Fox's intention. It just wanted to keep Hinako here for as long as possible, and so therefore this puzzle has no solution. You know what? To save me, like, spending, like, another half hour or something working on this, I'm going to... I feel so bad for doing this. Would you guys be okay with me looking up just where the position of the first one is going to go, and then I'll figure it out from there? Okay, it's all good. Okay, cool. So yeah, it is confirmed that the mural puzzle differs wildly between different runs. Okay. Got it. Okay. That makes a lot of sense, and that actually did require some thinking outside the box, which I didn't do. I was so fixated on the carriage being, like a cage, a representative of a cage. What I didn't pay attention to was the direction and who's moving in a different direction. So these two are moving in a different direction to all the other foxes. Okay, that I would not have thought of, and I'm glad I found the solution, because I was just so fixated on the first chunk that I didn't, like, even all the times I was stepping back and seeing the bigger picture, I wasn't seeing it. So then I think this is where the fox goes, because he's looking in the direction of these two which are fleeing and going in the opposite direction. That makes a lot of sense. Yes, there we go. Okay, that is genuinely a really smart and tricky puzzle, but It's absolutely one of those things. If you literally think outside of the box and you see the bigger picture, then it becomes quite clear, like, oh yeah, I could absolutely see how that makes sense. Hmm. Don't put it on. Don't put it on.
Hi.
Don't do it! Don't do it!
一緒だからここまで来られました。
もうわずかの辛抱だ。
はい。最後まで。
No! Stop it! Skip to the chapter of resolve. Skipping progress will not affect the story. Achievements tied to action difficulty will not be obtained. Action difficulty will not be obtained to skip. You know what? No, I don't want to skip it. I want to savor the full ending, so no, don't skip. Oh, sneaky, that's not fair! Okay. I want my sword. I hate those enemies so much. Okay, want to save quickly? Oh. Actually, no, I've already got a perfectly fine axe, so I'm fine. Considering she just saw her parents being murdered, I think her reaction's quite reasonable, and I agree. Can't a girl have a healthy, justified crash out in peace? Take that. Ah, damn it, damn it, damn it. I was running too fast ahead, I didn't see her. Fuck yes! Get back here. I have words. Oh, those things are just an absolute fucking nightmare. I hate them. This is gross. Okay, hang on. Is that it? No. How do I get around? How do I get around? Okay, bandage. Good, good, good. Is there another way through this? Or do I have to beat her? Okay, I think I have to beat her. Oh, gross, gross, gross. This is gross. Okay, sword is all good. Okay, there we go. Now the path is clear. Okay. Okay, before we go down that way, is anything useful here? Bandages, good. Crowbar, yes, let's replace that. And trying to quickly save and heal. She's probably got Kratos level rage and hunger for revenge right now. Honestly, hell hath no fury like an angry teenage girl. there is something about teenage girl rage that is one of the scariest and one of the most primal, guttural things you could ever experience. Speaking from experience, teenage girl rage is a force of its own making, absolutely. And it makes for some great stories. No, need a kitchen knife. Anything useful around here? What's your tea? Take that. There was something over there that I wanted to interact with, but I'll wait until this has gone away. Oh, I hate how it all gravitates towards her. It's so gross. Damn it. Interesting, because these enemies change over time. So it's interesting that outside of Sachiko's home, it looks like a teenage girl with the school uniform with the long skirt and everything. Because it would transform between looking more masculine or more feminine. Name, Shimizu Hinako. Last seen wearing coloured uniform, coloured skirt. Details of disappearing. Left time met with wearing a... Hey, Satya, how's it going? Good to see you. And I tell you what, there is something so cathartic about destroying all these really fucked up, grotesque enemies that are full of doubt and rage and disgust with a katana. Oh my god, is this cathartic. Okay, can I get past? Okay. Okay, no, toolkit's fine. Okay. Can I get past you? Ugh. Don't do it. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. No, it's not.
死になさい
No. No.
あらあら、本当に綺麗な子。
属性の娘よ、幸運であったな。
当家にはふさわしくない。
ようこそどうか心安らかな日々を
You. I want to fight you. I'm pulling you into the ring, you bastard. You're behind this. I know it. Fight me. Fight me. No, sweetie. Oh, the body horror is so good in this game. God, this game is absolutely fucking stunning. Horrifying and disgusting and glorious.
街が綺麗。
If not for your futile efforts, no one would have been hurt. Maybe we can still turn this around. Where's the sword? Where's the sword? Okay, any reaction to that? No!
これは私の選択。
I mean, you're allowed to make your own choices in this life, but no. I want something better for you, Hinako. This game is so gross and I love it. You still resist? How pointless. Damn it! Oh, but just this color combination between the teal fog and the red rain, just, oh, it's so cool. Any reaction to the shrines that we visited and we got the sword? Yes, all the disgusting flesh pustules does look like beautiful sakura petals, doesn't it? Almost home. Wonder, are there any other sightings of the doll trying to stop me? Okay. Save. Almost there. Oh boy, almost there. Yes. Shimizu Hinako shall live, you shall die. Please! Come on, we can turn this around, we can turn this around. Hinako, we're gonna save you, sweetie! Yes, but Hinako will live. We will win this, goddammit. Because she deserves happiness. She deserves so much better. And if in 10 years she wants to get married, then absolutely fine. Go for it. But don't... She deserves to choose that for herself. Yes. 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 Come on, Hinako, we can do this. Okay. Let the sword heal a little longer, then we can bring it out for the fight. Okay. Anywhere to save at beforehand. Okay. No, keep an eye out for one though. Oh, the atmosphere of this game is just so beautiful and so eerie at the same time. Because I love the more muted and washed out color palette of Silent Hill 2, especially in the real world areas. But there's something about the really bright and bold colors in this game that I find absolutely dazzling. And honestly, it adds so much to the horror. These interesting color combinations, like this soft, ethereal, unsettling like blue, this smoky ghostly blue is so beautiful with the gray mist and everything. Just chef's kiss for this game. Absolutely amazing. Shimenawa. Is Shimenawa the ghost lights that she's referring to, or is it the gates, these temple gates that we're walking through? Also harkens back to a lot of Japanese mythology as well. Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, yes. Hi. Okay, how is my health actually? You did so good, honey. Yep. Swap it out for a nice full crowbar. Yokan. Swap it out for the comb. Not going to give any more offerings, I think. Boss fight. Exactly, we are going to smack our way through all these enemies. If it's the last thing we do, I'm going to save my sword for the final fight, I think. Kutsuchi, I think we're good. Toolkit, I think we're good as well. Yeah. Oh, now I'm really curious to see what ending we're gonna get, because I was, not gonna lie, I was really worried I'd messed up somehow with it having very similar beats to what we experienced before. But now, please, Please, I just want Hinako to be happy. Okay, good, good, good. And yep, the sword is now back to max, but I'm going to save that for later. And my health is fine for now. Anything here? Okay, we're good. Yes, just use that. I finished rewatching Hannibal and damn I forgot how fine Bedelia is. Oh, like, it's Gillian Anderson. She is an absolute goddess, and honestly, I aspire to look even half as gorgeous as her at her age. Like, so elegant and so poised and just amazing presence. Chef's kiss perfection. Antichrome, dry carcass, Arare. You know what, there's a spot for me to make offerings. Not gonna get rid of any of the other more important things, but I will offer what the doll is looking at, just in case that, I don't know, it's important somehow. Bandage, divine water. Okay, how's everything else doing? Okay. Sword ready. Let's do this. I forgot how Godsmack the ending of season 3 was. Oh, absolutely. I wish I could rock a suit as well as Hannibal does. Honestly, Chris, it's all about the tailoring. Finding a good tailor and good fabrics that work for complementing your complexion, your eyes, and your hair. It absolutely works wonders, because a suit is fine on its own, but a really well-tailored suit that is especially like cut to your frame, that makes all the difference, because it knows where to draw the more attention to areas that you find interesting, like your maybe particular shoulders or your waist or something like that. But yeah, Mads Mikkelsen is just rocking tailored suits the whole show. All white shirts covered in blood, and he looks fine in those as well. You are age's gorgeous, Stephanie. You'll be the most elegant and stunning individual for thousands of years to come. Same energy as her. Oh, that is a high compliment. High compliment. It's the same force of presence that makes you both powerful. Thank you. Okay. Let's do this.
こう。清水ひな子。
We've got this. Okay, the knife and badges. Okay, grab more bandages. Okay, I'm good for the toolkit and everything. Okay. Oh boy. So cool. Let's do this. Come on.
なんてしぶとい。そんなにもあなたには未練があるの。私であって何が悪いの？
Damn right.
私はまだいつまでも私でいたいのに。あなたの気持ちもわかる。不安よね。怖いわよね。でもそれは乗り越えられるものなのよ。乗り越えるかどうかは私が決めること。誰にも勝手に決めさせたくない。もう遅すぎるの。あまりに遅すぎる。これは
Yes. Yes. Is this because we have the sword?
遅いも早いもない。
Oh! Oh shit!
のに今さら私を惑わせるな。もう遅いも早いもない。これは決断。清水ひな子の決断なの。決断は私がした。私が求めるものは新しい性。お前は消えろ。決断は私がした。お前が消えろ。清水ひな子に戻れ。
Fuck yes! Let's do this. And all the eyes of the foxes watching us are so cool. Oh? Oh, you fucker! Shut up!
その言葉はそのまま返そう。君こそ何者だ。ひな子に何がついた。どうやってこの聖域に入り込んだ。正体を見せろ。ひな子
Yo! What?
信じてたぜ、相棒。お前なら絶対に示せると思ってた。自分の本当の気持ちをな。
Yes.
汚れめ、どこから入り込んだ。
Let's see your face. Let's see your real face, you son of a bitch. Yes! Oh, fuck yes! Yes! Oh, let's do this! No, let's fuck him up! You're going down, you son of a bitch!
何者なの。
Oh, he looks so nasty. I love it. Okay. Oh. He's so creepy, and the eyes are so good. Wondering, can I hit him? Okay, not yet. Ugh. Sorry if I'm a little bit quiet, guys. I'm really locked in because I really want to win this fight. Oh, Hinako, I'm so proud of you.
私に恋し、私をめとるために人生を激しく生きた。私も自らの人生をあなたのように激しく生きたいのです。
女は男の求愛を受ける。何より幸福ではない。
私の幸福は私が決めます。
Exactly.
与えられるものじゃない。
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
羽ばたけるということか。
あなたの求愛を受けたら羽ばたく喜びも辛さも知ることができないんです。
ならば羽ばたいてみせるがいい。私なる軽々と飛び越えてみせろ。
Yes. Yes.
最後まで付き合ってくれてありがとう。
あなたの求愛を生涯忘れません。そしてありがとう。
ひなこ、こっちだ、早く。
行きなさい。後始末は私の方でつけておく。
お前と宇宙戦争ごっこで遊んだことを思い出した。だからお前は俺とヒナコの戦友だ。
早く行くといい。私が宇宙人の役になって君を食べてしまうこともできるのだからね。
また会おう、戦友。
男なら引き際も大事か。
So good. Oh my god, and that's how it ends. Okay. Oh, that was so good. We might have something else after the credits. But oh my god, I'm so glad with how mangy he looked. Like, that looked like a feral fucking fox. And oh, that last fight was really, really good. And yeah, I was very much picking up, like, he's the other boy from the class and fell completely in love with her and was a little bit obsessed with her. Ooh. Oh, we actually get a nice ending for her. Oh, I'm so happy. But Akira Yamaoka did such a great job with the score, and honestly, this whole game is just so good. Everyone was so good. The performance capture was amazing, and I missed her name, but the performance capture artist for Hinako was nominated for Best Performance at the Game Awards, and she 1000% deserved it. She was so good in this. But I'm curious now what the different ending would be if we did cleanse the Sacred Sword. Maybe it was something like, if we brought the cleansed sword there, then maybe we could end him completely or something like that, or like purge the evil spirit once and for all from the temple. But you know what? Our Hinako lives and got to escape with Shu, so I'm happy with that. I'm very, very happy with that. Was he creepy, possessive, and also like pressured her into doing some really fucked up stuff? Yes, absolutely. At at the end, I'm not going to call him redeemed per se, but there was a lot more humanity in him than I was expecting. Gonna let these thoughts stew a little bit, but oh, this was so good. Like, I will say, Sam, I don't necessarily think there's probably a sliding scale of grey when it comes to Silent Hill endings, and I assume if you did manage to cleanse the sword, then you would get the best ending, but you know what? I'm content with the ending we got. She came to terms with herself, and she fought for the freedom to choose the life she wanted, and I'm really, really happy for her. Unless we're about to get the rug pulled from under us, like in a post-credit scene or something. Oh, but the fox looked so good. He looked just so mangy and gross. But then by the end of it, with all the mystical qualities stripped back, he was just big, scary, supernatural fox. Okay. Okay. What went wrong? Okay. Still leaves more questions. Huh. Let me think. Okay. So that makes me think that, okay, it's one of those we're happy for now or we're safe for now endings, but then there was something else that was unexpected or that wasn't resolved. And so I'm trying to think, where did they mention like poisonous gas coming from? Because it's up in the mountains. I can't remember, like, in the notes them talking about gas fishes or anything like that. Because all the stuff that was about, like, hallucinogenics and things like that was all to do with flowers and herbs that were grown in the town, but I can't remember them mentioning a poisonous gas, but it would explain maybe everything being so, like, weird and surreal is because of, like, some kind of gas leak or something like that. Because it didn't necessarily say it was a volcano eruption, but there are volcanoes in Japan. And a lot of gas fishes, I think, maybe. So maybe it was something like that. I'm not sure. Oh, I wonder if we're going to get anything else. Wait until the credits are over and kind of let my thoughts mull over a little bit. God, the music in this game is so good. I mean, do we need an explanation for why there are monsters? No, we don't. We really don't. When it comes to Silent Hill games, it's almost always some kind of reflection of the player character's psyche. And so we don't need to over-justify why monsters are there and stuff like that. Because it's all part, like, of the ooky spooky atmosphere. I don't know what else there can be to that story that feels pretty final. I think the only thing I can hypothesize, and don't confirm yes or no, I want to discover for myself. The only thing I'm hypothesizing when it comes to the best ending with the sword is if you cleanse the sword, then maybe you can fully kill the fox spirit. And then it's like fully like, the evil has vanished, or something like that. Whereas here, we had some kind of catharsis with beating the enemy, beating the fox spirit, but we didn't kill him. And it ended on a somewhat more peaceful terms, even though it's implying a looming threat is still at large. Do you want to stream a third run next year? No, I don't think so. I wanted to do New Game Plus just the once to try and get a different ending, or just see what would be revealed in New Game Plus, and I am really glad that I did it, but I don't want to then try to get all the different endings on stream. I'll do it for my own enjoyment, but I won't stream it. Thank you, Konami. Fox wets its tail, a hell of your own choosing. Nothing else matters for now. Okay. Oh, actually. So, that was New Game Plus. Let us save here. Okay, yes, that was my original run through. Okay, let's go back to the menu. Oh, okay. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, slightly different menu screen. Okay. So, do you want to look at what potential endings we have and have not unlocked. For people who may be interested in picking up this game... Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. If you want to explore the different endings, then I recommend either, like, picking up this game for yourself and enjoying it and letting your intuition guide your actions and see what ending you get, or look up a guide. I'm not going to bring this up and potentially spoil things for people. Fingers, I'm so sorry. We just literally got past the credits. I'm so sorry. But with this beautiful ending title screen, I'm gonna jump over to the webcam chat so we can have a nice conversation about this game. So, final thoughts on Silent Hill F. Overall, I really loved it. I thought it was a fantastic experience. And even though playing it the second time, I was familiar with a lot of the story beats and combat and the puzzles, it still felt fresh and interesting. And I liked that some of the puzzles, because I was still playing it on the same difficulty modes. It was story mode balanced, and I think puzzle mode was hard, on hard mode. And I liked that the puzzles changed for the second run. And overall, I thought it was a really good experience. But I'm going to ask chat the same question that I asked the first time we finished the game. Do you think that you need to play New Game Plus in order to have the full experience of the story? Or do you think playing it on its own, just the one time, is satisfying enough as it is? Because while when you play it for the first time, it does end with a lot of questions. I think if you're smart enough, you can piece together the series of events that lead to that ending cutscene with what happened at the wedding, and the red capsules and everything like that, and Hinako kind of losing it. But because this is my kind of like questioning. If you're... How do I word this correctly? Because genuinely, I did really like New Game Plus. I thought it added a lot to it and uncovered a lot of the mysteries. But it feels like, in some ways... I'm trying to say this as nicely as possible, because I don't want it to sound like a negative thing, but this is just a criticism that I have. You know how the problems that I was having with Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, where it felt like there was so much filler, like between story events with the side quests and stuff like that? With it being like, okay, in order to experience the full story, you've got to play the game twice. That's what I'm kind of like, hang on, let's put a pin in that and kind of unpick that a little bit. Because I don't think there's anything wrong with adding more to the story on a second run, and you get more cutscenes, more little bits of information about characters, because you're now playing it like with the knowledge in your mind about certain series of events in the first game, and then you can make certain choices to that you did or did not do in the first time. But that's what I was kind of bringing up, like, okay, do you need to have played it twice in order to fully experience the story? That's what I'm kind of like mulling over, because I personally was probably going to play this game multiple times to get different endings and try different puzzles and play on different difficulties. So in some ways it makes it feel fresh, because then if you come back and play this game a second time, it adds a lot to the replayability on top of playing the game on different difficulty levels to get different achievements and things like that. From what I've heard about Silent Hill F, getting lots of multiple endings, excluding the alien ending, seems to be the way to go to when it comes to understanding the game. It kind of is a Nier Automata situation. Okay, that's fair. I haven't played Nier Automata, but similar with like Silent Hill 2, which does have a ton of different endings, and each of them adds a different interesting angle to James's story. I absolutely agree, and with that in mind, I can absolutely understand that, and then with that knowledge in mind, it adds a lot more and keeps things, as I was saying before, like fresh and interesting with New Game Plus, rather than just adding maybe like a weapon that helps you beat through enemies faster or something like that. Because in Silent Hill 2, when you play New Game Plus, this is the remake, by the way. In New Game Plus, you get to unlock, there's a melee weapon you can grab, which is a chainsaw, and helps like get through enemies a lot quicker. So it helps to speed things up a little bit when you're just kind of going through the motions, but the story essentially stays the exact same. Whereas in this, with New Game Plus, you get more information about the story, you get more information about the context of the series of events leading up to this story, and more about the setting and the mythology of the town and everything like that. I say no, Armored Core 6 did this, and it didn't really make the game any better or worse. It just added slightly more options that would have been better if they were from the beginning. Like with the first playthrough, it just feels like an overview with context missing, and that wasn't necessary at all. Okay, like hide story beats behind different choices, that's fine, but denying these options until New Game Plus just feels forced. Absolutely. I think something like that. I wouldn't have gone through Dragon Age Origins or Rogue Trader multiple times if I didn't like seeing new stuff and added context, but they still give you the full gist of the entire game storyline, even if you didn't play the game multiple times. Exactly. Like, I think if, as I said before, if you played the game just the once, just the standard game and not including New Game Plus, you can piece together this series of events and then just have like a really like gut-churning ending. But then the fact that it opens up like, okay, New Game Plus, if you play the game over again, you get more hints about the story and you get some questions answered and stuff like that. And as I said when I think we were first playing this game, and I think when I reached the ending of the game for the first time, I talked about the writer and their one of their other many projects, Higurashi no Nakakoro ni. And I'm not sure if the games do this as well, or the light novels do it as well, but in the anime, or at least the anime that I watched when I was growing up, you have to watch both seasons in order to get the full scope of the story, because the first season gives you all the questions, and then the second season / series gives you all the answers. So you need to watch both of those seasons in order to get the full scope of the story, which is something that was quite cleverly adapted into a game like this, because it still feels like a good, solid, well-rounded story, but then it didn't leave enough questions. Like, if it had like no questions answered at all in the first run of the game, then I'd be a bit more critical about it, but it left enough to entice you to do another run of the game with the knowledge in mind about what's in the red capsules and what's literally kind of behind the mask with the fox and everything like that, and then being able to pick up on cues about the way that Hinako's friends treat her. Like, seriously, Shu coming in clutch with the end, absolutely like amazing. But I think overall, I really, really did love this game, and I'm definitely going to be playing it again for my own enjoyment and try and explore different endings and see what I get, try out it on different difficulties, and just generally challenge myself, maybe do some achievement hunting, because I like doing achievement hunting for Silent Hill games. Overall, I did genuinely love this game. I think the performances were fantastic. I thought the score was really, really good. I think the overall score was really, really strong. But unlike his work in other Silent Hill games, especially Silent Hill 2 and 3, those two have my favorite soundtracks of the whole series, I can't recall any particular tracks that had like a really distinct melody, at least to my ear, that I would listen to on its own on repeat, if that makes sense. Like Laura's theme is fantastic in Silent Hill 2, and the main theme for Silent Hill 3 is fantastic as well. Room of Angel in Silent Hill 4, The Room, is also fantastic. I really love that one. Anything when he collaborated with Mary Elizabeth McGlynn was absolutely phenomenal. But I couldn't really pick out any particular tracks in this soundtrack that I would add to a playlist, for example. As someone who missed the whole game, 5 out of 10 needs more playtime. Honestly, Bingus, it's an absolutely fantastic game. I would highly, highly recommend it. And maybe when it's on sale, I'd recommend you giving it a try yourself after maybe check the content warnings, because there's a lot of body horror in this game, like really nasty body horror and like just really gross stuff. And honestly, I think the enemy design in this game was some of the best that we've seen in terms of newer horror games, because it felt so visceral and you could very much pick up on the metaphors that they were putting into the character designs in a way that it was just so distinctly grotesque. Although I will say sometimes it felt a little bit over the top, like the pregnancy monster. I'll describe it vaguely as that. The pregnancy monster, like, immediately looking at it, it's like, I immediately understand what that's supposed to be, what anxiety that's talking about. I do think that then, because I'm trying to think, like, okay, is it in keeping with the rest of the Silent Hill oeuvre, so to speak, when it comes to monster design and creature design? Because while there was like subtext to be picked up on for a lot of the enemies, sometimes I felt like it was a little too obvious, if that makes sense. Like if you think of okay, like the first enemies that you encounter in Silent Hill 2, where they're like the bodies that look like they're kind of trapped in like skin straitjackets, and they kind of like and then they like spit the acid at you. It takes maybe a little bit into the game, if you're playing it for the first time, to pick up on the what James's story is, and then you kind of piece together like, oh, that's what that's supposed to represent. Where it felt like a lot of the monsters you immediately picked up on, at least I picked up quite quickly on what anxieties and fears they were supposed to embody and represent. So I'm not saying that they're necessarily bad. I was just saying that maybe a touch more subtlety would have been great. Like, I'm very much inspired by Silent Hill, a lot of the games in the Silent Hill franchise, I should say, when it comes to my writing and being able to thread the needle of something that is both chilling and grotesque without being super detailed in like what is supposed to be horrifying about this, if that makes sense. Hang on. 5 minutes game is Christmas, damn it. You know what? I will definitely consider that. And here, thank you so much for the 5-stream streak. Glad to see you back. Also, I'm sorry that I didn't see those stretch and hydrate checks earlier. I think I was so locked in on the game. I really like the Game Awards. Thank you for asking out here. We were talking about it at the start of the stream. I was really, really happy that Claire Obscure won so many awards, and I think they deserve each and every one. Really, really happy for them. And do I think that Silent Hill F maybe could have won an award? I think, honestly, if it wasn't Jennifer English who won for her role in Claire Obscure, I think the actress who played Hinako should have won, because she gave a powerhouse performance in this role. And she was really, really good. Like, I will say, the tongue monster, it did take me a little while to kind of pick up on what, like, the creepy old man monster was supposed to kind of embody. But then once I picked up on it, I was like, oh, that's gross. Like, just it's gross in a good way. Like, oh, I understand what they're going for with this particular monster design and mechanics of movement and combat and stuff like that. Like, oh, that's so gross. Honestly, I appreciate the directness. Personally, I like when the idea is conveyed immediately. That's absolutely fair. That's absolutely fair. Maybe they could be chalked up to the age of the characters. Hinako is a teenager, whereas James is an adult, and they're both from different cultures and time frames in regards to their creatures. You know what, Chris? That is actually a very good point, and I'll absolutely agree with you in that. And I think it's also embodying a lot of different anxieties, and so I think Hinako's anxieties are a lot more visceral, and it's a lot more like physical as well. So actually, you know, with that in mind, that makes a lot more sense why the creature design is much more like focusing on the grotesque in a lot of ways, because while James's anxieties are about his guilt about his crimes and his thoughts about Mary and everything like that, it's more internalized, kind of cerebral, like feelings of guilt, whereas Hinako, it's more about the anxieties of something that is being put upon her, which is very much a fear that like teenage girls and teenagers in general have, but especially teenage girls in the 60s, where in a culture that is so set on distinct gender roles and expectations for women's roles in society. So yeah, I absolutely see from that perspective, and in that case I absolutely agree, and I can see why they did that and make it much more distinct and on the nose and tangible in terms of the designs. And so yeah, absolutely agree with you on that. Also, Hinako's VA really killed in the first ending you got, because it sounded full genuine, like during the bad ending. Honestly, like I've had to give some voice performances that were really like guttural, like recording screaming loops of me in pain, so then the voice loops can be like redone for like the character just non-stop screaming again and again and again. And her like screams of distress when she was like full on breaking down at the end of the game was so visceral and raw, and from the sounds of things really impacted the actress as well, and she had to take some time away to just recenter herself after she did all the performance capture for Hinako. And huge kudos to her. That it takes an amazing amount of internal strength as a performer to be able to channel those emotions take after take after take. It is exhausting, but she did such a great performance, and it came together so well in this game. And okay, what else do I want to talk about? I think in general, I talked a lot about how I really loved the visuals of this game. The color palette is absolutely fantastic. It knew when to keep things more muted and desaturated. Like when you're out in the field with the scarecrows, everything is more washed out and grey because you just have this endless expanse of mist ahead of you, and everything's much more desaturated, whereas right at the ending everything's like super intense colors with the blues and the reds and even the teal and the pink and everything like that, and then you have the stark white of the bride just standing out so beautifully. I think honestly it's absolutely fantastic, and I would be really interested to see if they want to do more Silent Hill games in set in Japan. I'd be really interested to see that, because there is such richness in story that you can tap into and explore different cultural and societal taboos, exploring design motifs and drawn from Japanese mythology and culture. I think because this still felt like a Silent Hill game to me. It did feel a little bit at the end, I will say, and I think this is also because maybe because also Hinako is a Japanese schoolgirl, so it made sense, like, especially if this is her kind of like internalizing all her anxieties about marriage and it being like marriage to someone she doesn't know that her father picked out for her to pay off his debts. and that being like recontextualized as the fox marriage, which is a thing in Japanese mythology of young women being spirited away by foxes to be married to them. Very much really, really interesting series of stories. But the anime's kind of style final fight with the fox did feel like maybe a little bit too much of a break from genre. Like the fox still looked like a mangy, nasty, nine-tailed like kitsune, but it didn't really feel like a Silent Hill enemy, if that makes sense. He was still like gross and nasty with like all the red fur slowly transitioning to the orange fur of like what an actual fox looks like, but other than like the enemies coming up in like waves to just beat through them until you get to eventually kill him, I think they maybe could have twisted the fox's character design a bit more to make him more in harmony with the rest of the enemies of this game, if that makes sense. I still think it was a cool fight, but it didn't quite feel like it was a Silent Hill boss fight. It felt in keeping with the game, but there was just, it felt a little bit too anime for me, which is a weird thing to say, but I'm trying to also keep in mind that this is a game that is centered on through the perspective of a teenage Japanese girl in the 60s. And so the cultural perspective is going to be a lot different. It was maybe just a different staging of the ending than what I was expecting it to be. Not that it makes it bad, but it was just different from the way that I expected it, if that makes sense. They could have maybe at least, like, in my opinion, maybe made the fox a little bit more in harmony with the rest of the creatures, with maybe like him having some kind of red spider lily motif or something like that, but then that feels like the red flowers motif was more tied to Hinako as a character rather than him being the source of all the evil and like the tendrils and everything like that. I know there's a lot of thoughts that you can unpack about this game, but you're kind of seeing where I'm coming from. It felt, I am still very happy with it, but I'm curious to see what the other endings are like as well, because it did feel like a good solid ending and I was very, very happy with it. I thought it was a good fight, but it just, I don't know, it didn't quite feel like a Silent Hill ending. That's what I will say. Or a Silent Hill final boss fight in a way. But again, that's coming out from like an outsider's perspective, and yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I want to add to that. Honestly, it looks a little like a fight out of Elden Ring. Okay, that makes sense. I haven't played Elden Ring. I've got it in my Steam library. I've got to try give it another shot at some point. But I have seen some staging for when it comes to Elden Ring ending or Elden Ring boss battles, where it is more like, it is more arena style, where it's less in an maybe less in kind of an enclosed space, but for ones that are more like cerebral, it's more like in a nice like open kind of void, and then you just have your enemy to focus on. So I can absolutely see that, and it felt, yeah, it felt more like a boss fight from maybe one of a FromSoft game. And yeah, the fox did start out all bloody, and like the red tendrils were like shooting up out of the ground a little bit. I don't know, I just felt like they could have like just made it just a little nastier, especially with how grotesque so many of the enemies were in this game. I felt like they just could have made, I don't know, like squishier or something like that, like more like fleshy or something, like just turn up the gross factor a little bit more. I wonder if the later game will explain Hinako's story connects with the rest of the Silent Hill story, especially since this is the earliest point we've seen so far. I will say, one second, I'll just snooze the ads that we're gonna come. I want to keep talking for a second. there are some connections between Silent Hill, the setting of Silent Hill in America, and this game. Specifically, there's mention in one of the documents that you can find where they talk about someone coming over with it's a herb or some seeds of White Claudia that came over from America. And that's the white flower that's planted around the pond in near Shu's house. And White Claudia is the flower / drug that's used in some rituals by the cult that's in Silent Hill. So there is that connection in some ways. And then it kind of ties in like, okay, maybe this the White Claudia is causing like hallucinations or is kind of infecting the town in some way. But there is some degree of connection between the two settings. Okay, yeah, I'll talk a little bit about it. I was very, very excited to see in the teaser trailer that they dropped for the Game of the Year awards that my boy Leon is going to be in Resident Evil 9. They just keep dragging him in. They just keep dragging him back in. He thought he was out of Raccoon City, and then they drag me back in. And I will, like, lose my shit if Claire Redfield shows up. Like, she drops out of a helicopter at the start of Act 2 and is like, seems like you started the party without me. Like, please, please. Oh my god, that would be amazing. Oh, that would be so cool. But no, I am very excited to return to a new game as Leon Kennedy in Resident Evil 9. I really, really hope that we do get a lot more focus on the new female character that is going to be, I think, the first character you play as, and then maybe Leon comes in and you swap between the two stories, perhaps. Excuse me. But I'm very excited to see him. This poor tired guy. I think he's in his 40s now, like his late 40s. Just trying to remember the year that the Raccoon City breakout was. I think it was the mid-90s. Was it? It was either the mid to late 90s that Raccoon City in canon timeline was nuked. So, that honestly would make Leon about my age, maybe a bit older. Yeah, actually, he'd probably be about his mid-40s, I think. Because I'm 34 now. 1998. Okay, so he is 7 years older than me. So he'd be, early 40s, like 41, 42 or something like that. Assuming he was, 20s or so? Something like that. Actually, no, he'd probably be, like, a lot older. He'd be in his late 40s, maybe early 50s by that point. Oh, my poor boy Leon. Guy can't catch a fucking break. All that stress went to his hair. Oh, absolutely. I'm not opposed to him being a vampire. But I think I can't really think of anything else I want to say in regards to Silent Hill F. I really liked this game. When I first saw the teaser trailer for it, I was intrigued, but I was going to hold off on any judgment until we got a better idea of what the game was like. Mostly because we'd been burned so badly by Konami in the past. But I am curious to see if they do further spin-offs in the future. And I personally would really, really like it. We're never going to get Silent Hills, which was, or like the fully realized PT that was promised. But I do hope that they consider, at some point in the future, working with Junji Ito. Because he was supposed to be working with Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro on Silent Hills, which was never fully realized. He was credited in the teaser trailer that was teasing Silent Hills that was eventually deleted. But I really, really hope that maybe in a future game they reach out to Junji Ito, because I think Junji Ito would be phenomenal collaborating with Konami on making a Silent Hill game. Like, oh my god, like taking... Honestly, that would be really cool, is if they start making more Silent Hill games set in Japan, but they have a different guest writer for each one. Junji Ito better be the next one, because this very much felt like, because I really liked Higurashi no Nakokoro ni, and it felt very, very much like I could see the writer's fingerprints all over this story and the setting and everything. So I would be really curious to see a Silent Hill story told by Junji Ito. And then maybe for another game, you bring in another prolific Japanese, either director or writer or mangaka, and have them do their own take on the story, still having those touchstones of working with Akira Yamaoka on the score and same creature designer and everything like that. And so it still feels like it's part of the Silent Hill universe, but they get to expand on the mythology in interesting and unique ways. That could be really, really interesting. We'll get Silent Hills before we get Half-Life 3. Oh, absolutely. He's the Titan Emperor of mind-fucking nightmare art. Honestly, I love Junji Ito's work so much. There's so much nightmare fuels in some of his visuals. There's... because I've got a couple of his volumes. I've got Tomie and... what's the other one? Tomie Uzumaki and... the one about the planet that eats other planets. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the one about the planet that eats other planets. And, but there's one that I don't have because it genuinely, like, creeps me out with some of the visuals, like, just turns my stomach a bit too much. And that's Gyo. That's the one where you have the mechanized legs that are attaching to fish, and then the fish are crawling out of the ocean. There's something about that, and then if you know that manga... and you know what happens later, the stuff that happens later is the stuff that like really grosses me out, and that's one thing I can't have on my shelf. The rest of his manga is fantastic. He did actually a brilliant adaptation of Frankenstein. Really, really, really good adaptation of Frankenstein in manga form. But Gyo, respectfully, I love your work, but that is not one I'm going to be adding to my collection. Hellstar Amina, I think that was it. Hellstar Amina was the one with the planet eater, because it's the astrologer who discovers the planet, names it after his daughter, and then the planet starts like booking it for Earth to like nom it, and then everyone's like, Ramina's the one who caused this because the planet's named after her, so we're gonna like hunt her down and like present her to the planet like, eat her, don't eat us, and then terrible shit happens. Alrighty, so I could just keep ranting about horror manga for ages, but I think, how are we doing for time? Yeah, we're coming up to like just under like 3 hours or so of stream time. So I'm thinking I'm gonna wrap up my final thoughts here. And honestly, guys, if there's stuff that you want to chime into the discussion, then absolutely go for it, and or give me your thoughts on what you thought of Silent Hill F in general, because we talked about a lot of things in this wrap up, and I'm really, really interested to hear what you guys think, because I always want to encourage good media literacy. Media literacy is so important these days, and it's so important to have an open, critical mind about the art and stories that you're consuming. And if honestly you don't like something, that is absolutely fine, so long as like you, even if something didn't vibe or didn't resonate with you, doesn't make it necessarily or inherently bad. It just means that maybe it wasn't your cup of tea, and that is 100% fine, because it's probably someone else's favorite thing in the whole goddamn world. Don't worry, Steph yapping is my specialty. Why, thank you. I'm glad that you guys like hearing me talk. Really creepy. Looking forward to getting a computer that can actually handle playing it. You know what? That's completely valid. That's valid. Trying to think if there's anything else. I think overall, I'm trying to think if anything else I wanted to say that I haven't already said. Overall, I did genuinely love this game, and I'm curious to go through and try and get as many notes as I can, or even try and do achievement hunting and tick them off one at a time, and try and find all the notes and lore in this game, and honestly try and do a run from the very, very start with taking no capsules from the beginning, and see if that affects the ending you get at all, because I'd be kind of curious about that. I think this was a wonderful breath of fresh air that Silent Hill absolutely needed, because they've tried to do other games still centered on Silent Hill, and a lot of them were really hit and miss, but this felt like a breath of fresh air in the best possible way. They took a gamble with doing something very different, and I personally think it paid off really, really well. It was very visually striking. It felt like it had a wonderful sense of identity. It brought some really interesting monster design and some really good stories and added as part of the Silent Hill overall canon. I think Hinako is a fantastic point of view character. I think she had so much dimension to her, and she was really, really, really interesting to play through, and performance capture was incredible as always. I really liked it. The symbolism is great, especially with the menstruation motifs you pointed out. I think the first ending I like more because it has a more punch to the gut. Absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, I initially thought it was going to be a cash grab when the game was announced, but the game managed to pull a huge 180 when I watched more playthroughs of the game. I'm really, really glad to hear that out of here. I personally was quite cynical of Konami for the longest time after the mistreatment of the Silent Hill IP, and so at first I was very much like, don't know about this, guys, but because I knew the writer's previous work, I was like, okay, I can kind of sense what you're cooking with. I'm open-minded to this. So it was a combination of both, like, okay, you're doing something a little bit different, but the writer that you're working with is very talented and has told some wonderful stories, so I'm open-minded about this. And honestly, I think they did a fantastic job with it. And I think the more I was playing the game and the more time I was spending exploring the game and letting my thoughts kind of stew away, like mixing together, the more than I was picking up, like, okay, like the red fleshy stuff and the anxieties about like the female body, and also the whole thing about being deflowered on your wedding night with all the red flowers and all the fleshy tendrils and everything like that everywhere. Once I was kind of like picking all those things together and literally threading them together, it was like, oh, this is so disgusting, but I love it. It might also be me as a female player, but I do genuinely love, like in Silent Hill 3 in particular, and also in this one, both of those games tap into very specific female anxieties to do with bodily autonomy in really unique and interesting ways, and have them displayed in such a raw and visceral way that you literally have to carve your way through these environments in order to get to your objective. These games manage to execute them in a way that is grisly and disgusting, but does not feel gratuitous, at least to me. Like, Heather Mason is one of my favorite fictional characters ever. She's just so fucking cool, and was a huge inspiration to me when I was writing Blood in the Airwaves and creating Natalie. And I really, really do love these games that explore female-centric anxieties and horror that feels very fixed on on existing in society in a female body, or a feminine body, I should say. And these games managed to execute it in such a brilliant way that makes you squirm, but then hopefully if you're like maybe more masculine and playing this game, then you can kind of experience that level of like a degree of the unease that everyday existence kind of feels like for us, and kind of like allow others to kind of feel that visceral discomfort of those feminine anxieties that we have to carry with us in like general day-to-day kind of shit. It seems like Konami must have gone through new management that doesn't have the heads of their backsides nowadays. Honestly, I think once they saw what Capcom was doing with the success of the remakes of Resident Evil and the overwhelming success of those, they went, okay, we need to step up our game, because like Resident Evil was very much the like kings, or like one of the first like ground zeros of survival horror, and then Silent Hill, like Konami is just sitting there like, yeah, we should probably like do something about this. So it wouldn't surprise me if the overwhelming success of the remakes of the Resident Evil games inspired them to essentially like someone kicked a boot up their ass and was like, okay, stop fucking around with this IP, guys, let's actually do something good with it. Honestly, like I said last time, Silent Hill F is genuinely a massive breath of fresh air, and I'm super relieved that this game came out and so absolutely spectacular that it's pretty much become my top 3 fave Silent Hill games. Absolutely, I can see that. I think it's probably, I think it's definitely in my top 3. I think Silent Hill 3, like, I think my order would go like Silent Hill 3, Silent Hill 2, and then Silent Hill F. So those are kind of probably like top 3 Silent Hill games. Really like the visuals, and like you said, a breath of fresh air for the series. Probably not the kind of game I would play myself, but I had a great time watching you play it. Well, thank you, King Deadlock. That really means a lot. Thank you. Growing up mass has a lot of femme experience I will simply never experience through bodily autonomy is definitely one I have anxiety a lot over, and I'm realizing is a common theme for some nightmares of mine. That's absolutely valid. I don't always recognize it because my experience is limited, of course, but when I see it, it hits hard. Oh, absolutely. And I think, because I was talking to my mom about it, and because I love horror. I love horror so much as a genre. I think it's one of the most... It's a genre where you can talk about some of the most uncomfortable subject matter in a way that allows you to fully realize internal anxieties and fears and the pain of it in a way that feels visceral and real and tangible, and you can articulate those emotions through horror in a way that allows others to experience your experience and what you've been through. So things like having like the creature design of the pervy old man, like the way that he moves, like blocking her off, like trying to get away, and like the grotesque tongue and everything like that. That's what it feels like as a teenager. Well, like, especially if you're a petite, like, young woman and you're being creeped on by someone who's physically older and more powerful than you. It's an anxiety that, like, is articulated in that monster design so well because it is so uncomfortable and grotesque. But that is what it feels like when you are targeted like that. And so that's what I love about horror games like this is... and just horror in general, is that you can take these things that if you tell someone about your experience, like, it's not quite the same as, like, putting it into a visual way and then, like, handing a controller to someone's like, okay, now you have to get past this. And just, I love writing horror. I love horror just in general, so this is really, really happy. Bloodbass, how's it going, darling? How are you? Oh my god, how are you doing, sweetie? I'm so sorry if you yapped about this already, but did you see the Game Awards announcements? I did. I absolutely did. But Blair Bears, how's it going? We have just wrapped up Silent Hill F, and we were just having a lovely conversation about the game and like horror games in general, and Silent Hill as a game series and stuff like that. But oh my god, yes, I saw the announcements. I'm so excited for what they're going to be doing with Larian Studios is doing with the new Divinity game. I'm so excited for that. It's going to be amazing. I also saw the Warlock game that Wizards of the Coast is developing that I'm very curious about. What is your opinion of Leon? All my raccoons thought about you when they're now... Really? Oh my god, Blair, that is so sweet. Thank you. Oh my god, my boy Leon. I am so excited. I did say, we were talking about it earlier, I did say that I was hoping that we would still have a lot of focus on this new female character that it's being introduced as one of the player characters in this game, but I am very much looking forward to playing an older, grislier, has no more fucks to give Leon. Like, dude, I'm in my late 40s, maybe early 50s. I am tired. Can you stop bothering me with this bullshit? I was really like, Sam, if you're on the chat, I cannot wait to hear from Stephanie. Thank you. Oh my god. Because I was considering like, oh, should I maybe like stream my reactions to the Game Awards? But I've never done reaction stuff, so I was kind of like, do I do this? Like, is this what like game streamers are supposed to do? Like, Blair, did you cover it? Because I wasn't sure if you get in trouble with like restreaming broadcasts and stuff like that. But it was something I was maybe considering, because when I was watching like the announcements on my phone on TikTok, and I was just lying in bed, like my smile when I saw my boy Leon was just, he looks so good. He looks so tired and so angry, but so hot. Speaking of Resident Evil, have you seen what happens if you break the cameras and zoom in on that figure in the mist in the ending of Village? No, I haven't. Ooh. Break the camera and zoom in on that figure in the mist. Just trying to think, what figure in the mist? No, I haven't seen it. So don't spoil it for me. If I'm curious enough, I will find it myself. But in case it ties into Resident Evil 9, don't say what it is. I just leave it for us to discover in time. I appreciate you suggesting it, Chris, but I want to check this out myself. Thank you. I did, yeah. It's just fun to talk to chat about what they're excited for. I know I was trying to stream Game Awards announcements in case they announce literally anything Sly Cooper. That is 100% fair, Blair. That rhymed. I'll consider that in the future, like streaming my reactions to game announcements, because I just generally don't make reaction content or reaction videos, so I'm like, I don't really know. Like, do you guys like hearing me just generally chat about this? Because I don't know, for me, I get anxious because it feels like if I'm not talking about my live commentary while I'm playing a game, it feels like, I don't know, it's too like overindulgent, like or like, you guys care about my opinions on shit? Hey Lunahawk, welcome back, good to see you. Yes, we say it all the time, we love hearing you yap. Oh guys, thank you. Oh, you're so sweet. We come to the streets for you. It's cool, keep yapping. I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. Because I like doing these kind of wrap-ups about games that we've played. Oh, Lunahawk, thank you so much for the 50 bits. I really appreciate it. You're so sweet. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Jurassic Narc, thank you so much for the follow. Also, great username. I love it. But thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the BlueBerryRose Respite. We were just talking about wrap-up thoughts about Silent Hill F and the Game Awards and everything. And kind of teasing the idea of like, oh, maybe streaming my reaction to stuff like that in the future. I would have to like come up with some like interesting layout so that like I could have you guys on chat, but you could also see my reactions and everything like that. So I will consider it. I'll have a look at what the schedule is for 2026 and we'll consider maybe streaming my reaction to announcements in the future. But we will see. We will see. I might have to do a bit of fiddling around behind the scenes, but we will see. Oh, thank you for the stretch check. Ah, that was my elbows. So, I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I want to wrap up? I said I'm wrapping these are my final wrap-up thoughts like half an hour ago. Okay. I can't really think of anything else I want to talk about this game in particular, other than I'm curious to see what they have planned for the future. There is another Silent Hill game that's currently in the works, as well as the remake of the first Silent Hill game with Blooper Team. They're doing a game where it's like small snippets, almost like an anthology series, but in game form, where it's about stories, like prequel stories about the foundations of Silent Hill and the cult and everything like that. So I am curious about that. I'm curious to see what that's like, because they've experimented with some different things with the Silent Hill games, but not all of them have been great. There was a short-lived almost mini-series that was done where the audience could vote on the outcomes of character choices, or could decide what different choices characters would make, and then like a week later the next episode would come out. But honestly, because the animators had to have all animated possibilities or be ready to animate all possibilities for different character choices, it's not the best story-wise, visual-wise, so it feels like something that Konami's just going to quietly sweep under the rug and pretend never happened. But I am curious about the idea of a Silent Hills anthology game, of looking at essentially giving the lore nerds like more stuff to like drink down and like savor. So I'd be really interested to see what they do with that, and I'm also curious to see what other like more traditional games they have planned in the future, because I think they had an incredible success with the remake of Silent Hill 2, and so I'm very much in support of seeing what they do with remakes of the first one, the third one, and hopefully the fourth one. I'd be curious to see if they remake Silent Hill 4 and kind of expand upon that, because the second remake was so good. And I'm very protective of Silent Hill 3. I really, really do love that game. So, because they did a fantastic job with the remake of 2. If they give 1 and 3 the similar treatment, then I'll be pretty happy. I'll be very, very happy with that. Have they added the Maria's side story to the remake of Silent Hill 2 yet? No, they have not released that yet, but I think they have teased that. Hang on, let me just Google that, because I think they announced that they were making it. Let me just see that. 1 second. Okay, so it hasn't been officially announced. Hang on. Okay, because they're going to be releasing a new Silent Hill movie, so I think they're going to be either releasing or announcing the DLC Born from a Wish in like conjunction with the release of that movie. I'm not sure when the movie's coming out, but that makes sense publicity wise. Like the movie's coming out, there's more general hype around the game, like, or renewed interest in the game from maybe people who haven't played the games, and then they'll announce the DLC or release the DLC roughly when the movie comes out. That makes a lot of sense. That would check since James is the main character of the new movie. Absolutely. And while they have brought back the director who did the other Silent Hill movie, I'm withholding judgment until I sit down and I see the movie myself. But going by the trailers, I'm like, I'll wait for it to come out on Netflix. Sorry. Here's something they should address in the games. Who is Alessa's father? That's a good question. It wouldn't surprise me if maybe they explore that in one of the anthology. One aspect of the anthology is Alessa's parentage, because it's not confirmed, is it? Who's the father of Alessa Gillespie? Gillespie? I think it's Gillespie. Because that's definitely something they can explore and maybe like. Because Alessa had powers that made her almost like very much a witch hunt centered around her. And like there's a whole lot of mess in the lore when it comes to the cult of Silent Hill. But that would be interesting. Because there's also stuff in, when you go in Silent Hill 2 to the Historical Society and you look at all the different artifacts, and there's even like a painting of Pyramid Head there. It'd be interesting if then they dipped into some of the origins of maybe where some of these items came from. Maybe they might even talk about because even though Silent Hill 2 Pyramid Head is very much a manifestation of James' desire for punishment and is a reflection of his guilt, the fact that there's a painting of Pyramid Head in the Historical Society is interesting, and they could maybe touch into maybe there was a previous time where the Red Triangle did manifest itself or did appear in similar circumstances, and then like an aspect of him returns when like a similar need or hunger for punishment. I gotta keep my head out of the gutter. Another like need for like a guilty desire for punishment or retribution from an outside force enters the town or manifests itself so powerfully that the Red Triangle emerges. So I'm thinking, is there anything else I want to talk about? I think with that, I want to wrap things up. Because we could keep talking about this game and the Silent Hill games for ages and ages and ages. Ooh, hydrate check, thank you. Quench that thirst. Anytime I mention punishment, is it punishment or punishment? But I do think I want to wrap things up here because we're getting up to, just over 3 hours or so. And I really, really, really do love this game. I'm looking forward to exploring it in my own time as well. And so next week, we are still going to be streaming. We're going to be playing more Hades 2 on Monday and more Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 on Wednesday. We're probably going to be finishing the game on Wednesday, and we'll have a similar discussion at the end of the game about the experience, criticism I have. And then next Friday, I'm probably going to be jumping into playing Amanda the Adventurer 3. It's going to be the finale of the series. I need to check how long the game is though and see if I can cover it in one night, or if it would be better to split between 2 streams, in which case I will wait until I come back in the new year. Excuse me, hiccups. But that is the rough schedule for next week. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, my lovelies. I hope you all had a fabulous time and enjoyed listening to me rant and rave about horror games and how good this game is and my hopes for the future of Silent Hill games. But until then, If you've been lurking in the shadows and you like what you've seen so far, then please consider following. We would love to have you back at the BlueBerryRose Respite. You are welcome anytime. Be sure to check out my socials that are popping up in the chat right now, including my 2 YouTube channels, one for my ASMR tales and the other for my Twitch VODs, and my Blue Sky, my Insta, and my TikTok. I have been posting somewhat regularly about my hopefully debut novel, Blood in the Airwaves, which I'm currently on in the query trenches looking for literary agents to represent me, and hopefully I'll hear back from 1 or 2 soon, so keep your fingers crossed for me. But any engagement with the posts that I've been making about my book would really mean a lot, because it helps to get more eyes on the project, and so it helps to show that you guys are really excited about it, and hopefully it will get picked up eventually. Anything else? I think that's everything. But yes, next week, Hades 2, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, and potentially Amanda the Adventurer. Okay, let's see who's currently live, and we can go say hello. Let's see. Hey, Malice is streaming. Why don't we go say hi to Malice? Tiffany's wonderful husband. Sending some love from the BlueBerryRose Respite. Okay, let's go say hi to Malice. Send some love and good vibes. But I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, my lovelies. I will see you on Monday for more streaming. And also, I have a new ASMR tale coming out tomorrow. I know it's been a while since I last posted one, but there is one coming out tomorrow, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. I'm very proud of how it came out. I hope you all love it just as much as I loved making it. And leave some lovely comments, and I hope you all really like it. I'm really happy with it, and I hope you like it too. But I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the evening and a wonderful weekend ahead. I will see you on Monday for Hades 2. Have a wonderful evening, and remember, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and as always, stay wicked and wonderful. Good night, my lovelies.